Hey there, and welcome to Mama Drama and Trauma. I'm your host, Jenny Kimmel, and I'm really glad you're here today. Today's episode is the first episode of February, and it's also the emotional anchor for this entire month. I want this episode to feel welcoming. I want you to feel a little lighter in these first moments, a little less heavy, a little less overwhelmed, and honestly, I want you to feel excited to hear what comes next. This episode is for women who feel like they were left behind, not just by someone else, but by themselves, and by the life they were trying so hard to hold together. We're talking about love, not the kind we were taught to expect, not the kind that feels safe or predictable. We're talking about love after betrayal and what love looks like now. Because when betrayal happens, it doesn't just change your relationship with another person. It changes your relationship with love itself. What love is now. When I think about love now, I'm open to it. I believe true love exists when two people respect each other. I believe love can be really special when it's built the right way. But I've learned something important. You can't take past scars into a new relationship. You can't take unhealed trauma and expect healthy love to grow. I used to jump from one relationship to the next. I've learned you can't do it that way. You have to heal yourself first. You have to work on yourself before you can really love someone and give them all of you. I feel open to love now. I also feel a little scared. I never want to hurt the way I hurt after the betrayal of my marriage. Trusting someone else with myself again feels scary, but I know I'm healing in a way that keeps me open to finding my person. I do trust love. I really do. I believe if you're with the right person and you're open and honest with yourself and your partner, love can be something really special. It's just a matter of doing it the right way. Before betrayal, I believed love was unconditional. I believed love meant being there for each other through thick and thin. I believed love meant never giving up on each other. I assumed love would always be there, that it would be continuous, that it would include staying and choosing one another no matter what. I always knew love could hurt, but I never thought love could rip families apart the way it does when things fall apart. I never imagined love could destroy so many lives at once. The first thing that shattered for me was trust. I truly believed that if my husband was unhappy, he would have come to me. That trust was the first thing to break. And something people don't talk about enough is what you lose inside yourself. I lost my identity. I lost my sense of self. I didn't know who I was if I wasn't his wife, if I wasn't the one holding our family together. That had become my identity. And when you lose yourself like that, it changes how you understand love. Right now, love looks like loving me. It looks like healing myself. Love used to be about other people. Now it's about loving myself so I can truly love the people who love me back. I no longer tolerate love that pulls me away from who I really am. I'm learning to set boundaries. I'm learning to speak my truth. I'm learning to stand up for myself. And I'm still learning to accept that not everyone loves the way I do. I love deeply, and not everyone is the same. And if you're listening to this and love feels different now, that makes sense. What you went through changed you. You survived a trauma you never asked for. You lived through something that changed you at your core, and you're still standing. If you don't trust love right now, that's okay. You have every reason not to. Someone did the unthinkable to you. Someone did something you would have never done to them. So questioning love right now doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. What I'm learning and what I want you to hear is this. Before you can love anyone else, you have to love yourself first. You have to put yourself first. You have to set boundaries with everyone. And yes, even with your kids. That's something I'm learning right now too. Setting boundaries with my kids isn't about loving them less. It's about loving myself enough to show up as the best version of me. Betrayal might have changed my life, but it taught me how to love myself first. And that's where everything begins. If this resonates with you, stay with me. Because next, we're going to talk about what it really looks like to rebuild love from the inside out. Why love after betrayal feels so confusing. Love after betrayal feels confusing because the one person you trusted the most did the unthinkable. Not just to you, but to your kids and to your entire family. You can't wrap your head around how the person you trusted more than anyone else could break your heart into a million pieces and then leave you there to pick them up by yourself. All while you're still trying to keep going for your kids, still trying to keep going for yourself. That's confusing. That's devastating, and it's really hard to understand. In my case, I spent 22 years married and 24 years with this person. I never thought he would do something that would devastate our lives so deeply. And when that happens, your brain just keeps trying to make it make sense. I was absolutely pulled in opposite directions. I missed him so much, but I didn't trust a word that came out of his mouth. I wanted closeness and attention from him, but at the same time, I didn't want to be near him. I loved him for so many years that I couldn't imagine my life without him. And yet, I didn't trust him. I didn't feel like I knew who he was anymore because I never believed he would do this to me or to our kids. So you're pulled in every direction at once. You miss them, but you don't trust them. You want them close, but you want them far away. You want answers, but you're also angry. You want to talk, but you don't know if you can handle what you'll hear. And some of those questions never get answered at all. That push and pull is exhausting. It was so much on my nervous system. Betrayal completely changed how I trusted my own judgment. I questioned everything. How did I not know this was happening? How was I so blind? How did I not see what was right under my nose? I questioned myself constantly. And that might have been one of the hardest parts. You take everything on yourself. So much of it isn't even yours to carry, but you carry it anyway. Confusion showed up in my daily life as overthinking. I wanted to know everything, every detail. How it happened, when it happened, what was going on right in front of my face that I didn't see. I know a lot of details now, probably more than I ever needed to know. But at the time, I felt like I had to know everything. After the shock came something else, not a fog, more like numbness. You're not confused because you're weak. You're confused because your body and your mind are trying to survive something unbearable. And here's the part that really messes with you. The one person I wanted reassurance from was the same person who hurt me, the same person who shattered my world. I wanted him to tell me everything was going to be okay. That's confusion. Wanting comfort from the person who caused the pain is confusing, and it happens to so many of us. Love also started to feel unsafe. My nervous system was constantly on edge. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my instincts. There was no peace in my life for a long time. If I'm being honest, probably close to 2 years. Even now, I work really hard to protect my peace. And sometimes my nervous system still gets easily agitated because of my ex. So yes, love felt unsafe, 100%. What made the confusion worse were the mixed messages. I found out about the affair early in the week. And that Saturday, he came back home after being with her the night before. He told me he wanted to work things out with us. We cuddled in bed. We talked about working on ourselves and finding our way back together. There was so much hope that night. The next morning, he told her it was over, deleted everything from his phone, pictures, messages, all of it. We drove together to where he was working, and somewhere during that drive, he changed his mind. He decided he wanted her back. That back and forth didn't stop there. For months, he went back and forth. At one point, I finally had to tell him he couldn't keep telling me those things anymore, that it wasn't my business, because I couldn't handle the mixed messages. He apologized, but there was no change, and words without action don't heal anything. What I wish someone had told me in the middle of all that confusion is this. Feeling confused doesn't mean you won't survive this. It doesn't mean you're weak, and it doesn't mean you're unworthy of being loved. It took me at least a year, maybe longer, to stop blaming myself, to realize the confusion wasn't a flaw, it was a response. Counseling helped. Time helped. I started to understand that it took two people to get where we ended up. It wasn't all him. It wasn't all me. And I'm still working through that because processing 24 years of a relationship takes time. But here's the truth I've landed on. I wasn't broken. I was bent. Even though my sense of safety disappeared, love didn't disappear from my life. It just needed to start somewhere new. Loving yourself first. I didn't suddenly realize I had abandoned myself the day the affair came out. That started years before. It was a quiet, slow realization. Almost unnoticeable at first, I started losing who I was a few years before I found out my husband was having an affair. I didn't recognize myself anymore, and I knew I needed something for me, something outside of my family, but I didn't know how to get there without letting someone down. So instead, I kept slowly disappearing into everyone else, their needs, their expectations, their lives. And little by little, I lost myself. At the beginning of choosing myself, loving myself first didn't feel empowering. It felt selfish. I had spent my whole life putting everyone else first, especially as a mom, because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. But now I see what happened when I put everyone else first and put myself last. I slowly lost who I was. I wasn't happy. I was disappointed in myself. And I was stuck in a sad, ugly place that I didn't know how to get out of. So choosing myself felt wrong at first. And honestly, it still can sometimes. Putting myself first is a work in progress for me. It's still hard. The very first small way I started choosing myself was therapy, sitting with Dr. Denise and talking everything out. That was the first time I really allowed myself to matter too. I also started learning how to say no and how to set boundaries. That's something I'm still working on, especially with my kids, but therapy was the first place I finally felt seen. Loving myself first required me to stop chasing clarity from someone who couldn't give it to me. It required me to stop ignoring my own needs, to stop putting myself last. It also required me to start listening to my body. I had ignored my body for so long. All the tension, all the warning signs. I didn't even realize how much I was holding until I started seeing Dr. Christie and really paying attention. Your body tells you so much if you're willing to listen. Learning to listen to my body changed everything. It also changed my relationship with guilt. I still feel guilty sometimes for choosing myself. I still feel bad for not being everything to everyone. Setting boundaries with my kids has been hard for them and for me. For so many years, it was just me and the boys when my ex-husband was gone working. I learned to always put them first, always make sure their needs were met. So this shift has been hard on all of us. And yes, there's guilt there, but I also know this. I can't be the best mom I can be if I don't take care of myself first. And that's something I wish I had learned earlier. Loving myself first today looks different than it used to. Today, it looks like investing in myself, in my passions, in the things I love doing. It looks like building something that's mine and doing it to the best of my ability. On hard days, loving myself looks like letting myself feel sad, angry, or tired without feeling guilty. Letting it all out, acknowledging the hurt, acknowledging the anger, and then moving on. On calm days, loving myself looks like being present with my kids, talking, laughing, and enjoying their company. It looks like focusing on my business and creating something that makes me happy. On triggered days, loving myself looks like pausing, thinking before reacting, not engaging when I know it's going to drain me emotionally. Loving myself today means I don't put myself last anymore. It means I allow myself to relax. It means I don't live constantly on edge. It means I protect my heart and everything I hold close to it. And it means I stop pretending to be okay when I'm not. Choosing myself saved me. Losing my marriage saved me. I wouldn't be who I am today or where I am today if I hadn't lost everything I thought I couldn't live without. Protecting peace and redefining strength. I realized peace mattered more than being right or being understood when it finally hit me that nothing I said was ever going to change anything. No matter what I expressed to my ex-husband about my feelings, about finances, about the stress I was under, it didn't matter. There was always an excuse, always a reason, always something turned back on me. That's when it clicked. He was never going to validate me, so I had to learn how to validate myself. I stopped trying to explain myself when I realized it didn't matter what I said. He wasn't listening. And even if he was listening, he didn't care. Every conversation got twisted. Every feeling got turned around on me. And if I'm not careful, that still happens today. The cost of staying engaged became too high when I was still emotionally invested and caring, and he wasn't. I was draining myself for someone who didn't care about me anymore. My energy and my peace weren't worth giving to that anymore. Before betrayal, strength looked very different to me. Strength looked like holding everything together, making sure everyone was taken care of, making sure appointments were made, making sure everyone got where they needed to go, making sure everything got done, especially when my ex-husband was out of town working. I used to think being strong meant making sure everybody else was okay, that everyone else's needs were met. That's what strength looked like to me. But somewhere along the way, that definition stopped working. Now, strength looks like taking care of myself too. Strength looks like making sure Jenny is taken care of. It looks like doing what I want without worrying about someone having something to say about it. I don't have to prove my worth to anyone anymore. I see my own worth now. And I walk away from anything that steals my energy or my peace. That's what strength is to me now. Being at peace with myself, putting myself first, and loving myself unconditionally. What disrupts my peace the fastest is being pulled back into old dynamics that drain me, dynamics that take me back to a version of myself I don't want to be anymore. My body reacts immediately. It drains me. It brings me down for days, almost like an emotional hangover. So protecting my peace in real life looks like limiting conversations. It looks like stepping back from people who drain my energy. It looks like removing myself from situations that cost me too much emotionally. Protecting my peace means healing, learning, growing, and choosing not to engage where I don't feel safe emotionally. Protecting my peace has cost me relationships. It's cost me being seen as easy or understanding, but I'm not going to be the easy one anymore. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to set boundaries, and I'm going to protect myself. I'm done being the person who puts everyone else first while abandoning herself. Since choosing peace, I've gained something really important. I've gained clarity, and honestly, I've gained freedom from caring what everyone else thinks. This is my life, and I'm going to live it the way I choose. And if you're listening to this and you feel weak for needing space, I want you to hear me. You're not failing. You're surviving one of the hardest seasons of your life. You can still handle everything you used to handle, and you're growing into handling even more. You're growing even when it doesn't feel like it. And sometimes growth doesn't look strong. Sometimes it looks quiet. Sometimes it looks like stepping back. And this is where it all comes back to love. Redefining strength and peace completely changed how I view love. I know what I'm looking for now, and I'm not willing to settle. The peace I have now is not worth giving up for anyone. Love shouldn't be hard. You shouldn't have to beg. You shouldn't have to prove your worth. You shouldn't have to hope someone sees you. Love is a friendship first, trust first, respect first, and I won't accept anything less than that. Because I'm not chasing anymore. I'm not begging anymore. I know who I am. I know what I bring. And if someone can't see that, that's not my loss. Strength to me is knowing when to walk away. Knowing when you're not valued, knowing when you're not appreciated, and having the courage to choose yourself anyway. A gentle place to land. As I think about this episode as a whole, what I hope you walk away with is this. You are going to be okay. You are going to make it through this hard season of your life, and you are going to come out on the other side stronger than you ever thought you could be. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. I know it can feel impossible to imagine. But it's true. When it comes to love after betrayal, I want to remind you of something important. Just because one person chose to abandon your love doesn't mean love doesn't exist. It does. But love has to start with you first. You can't fully be loved by someone else if you're not loving yourself. And I know that's hard for so many of us. A lot of us struggle with loving ourselves, putting ourselves first, and being okay with that. But it is okay to love yourself. You should love yourself the most, because when you love yourself, you're easier for other people to love too. If I'm being honest, in the very beginning, when I first found out about the affair, I don't know that any reassurance would have helped me. I don't think anything anyone said could have taken the pain away. I had to walk through it. I had to feel it. I had to come to terms with it on my own. There were nights I woke up feeling like I was living inside a nightmare, and nothing anyone said could change that. What did help little by little were gentle things. Taking a walk, breathing, journaling. Doing something small for myself, getting the tension out of my body mattered more than words. And I want you to hear this too. You are perfect the way you are. Does that mean there isn't room to grow? Of course not. I believe we should always be working on ourselves and growing. But growth does not mean you were broken. You were never broken. You were just bent. As we move through the rest of February, we're going to keep unpacking this together. All the layers, all the pieces of this nightmare we didn't ask for. Every story is different. Every marriage is different. Every journey is different, but in so many ways, it's also the same, and we don't have to walk through it alone. I want to leave you with a gentle reminder before we close. You don't have to have all of this figured out right now. It's going to take time. It might take a year. It might take 3. There were days I took this 1 minute at a time. Other days, 1 hour at a time. Whatever you need to do to get through this is okay. Walking through this isn't easy. It makes you question yourself. It makes you doubt yourself. But this wasn't about you. What they chose to do wasn't about you. It was about them, their insecurities, their unhappiness, the things they were trying to fix outside of themselves. And the same goes for us. We are the only ones who can fix how we feel, and we do that one step at a time. After the betrayal I lived through and everything it changed inside me, I got my very first tattoo at 46 years old. And it says, "There's freedom in a broken heart," and I believe that with my whole heart. Because sometimes what feels like the breaking is actually the freeing. You are becoming who you're meant to be, even if it's hard to see right now. And sometimes the hardest truth to accept is this: you couldn't grow into who you're meant to be if that person stayed in your life. You were growing beyond them and they couldn't grow with you. You were never going to leave, so life stepped in. However you understand it, God, the universe, something bigger knew there was more for you. More growth, more healing, more becoming. And even though this hurts, even though it feels unfair, there is more for you. You are not broken. You were bent. And now you're slowly straightening back into yourself. As we wrap up today, I just want you to know this. You don't have to walk through this alone. I know it feels lonely. I know it can feel like no one else in the world truly understands what you're going through. That's exactly how I felt. I had support. I had people around me, but no one had lived this exact nightmare, and that made me feel alone in a way I can't really explain. So if that's where you are right now, I want you to know there are people who understand. There are people who have walked the same road, and I'm here to walk it with you. Next week, we're going to continue unpacking this together. We'll keep peeling back the layers and talking about what love, healing, and survival look like after betrayal. If this episode spoke to you, I really hope you'll come back and listen next week. If you're looking for a place to feel less alone, I want to invite you into the Momma Drama and Trauma Facebook community. It's a space to lay down your exhaustion, a place to vent, a place to talk about the nightmare you're living through without having to explain or justify your feelings. It's a place where people get it, where you're supported by others who have walked this same journey. And if you've been searching for that kind of understanding, you found the right place. You can also visit the website for supportive content, blogs, and resources. It's still growing slowly and intentionally, but it's there as another place to land between episodes. And if you want to stay connected in between, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Those spaces are here to support you too, with no judgment and no pressure. Just gentle reminders that you're not alone in this. This is a hard season. It's a slow process, but you are making it through one step at a time. As always, you are strong, you are worthy, and your story matters. Until next time, take care of you.